You are listening to the Ditch the Budget podcast, and I am your host, Heidi Ramore. I'm a wife, a mom of 2 young boys, and I've spent the last 17 years in financial services as a licensed financial planner, insurance specialist, and debt crusher. My goal is to show you that there's more to life than counting calories and paying bills, and that you truly can get out of debt and build wealth without the restrictive budgets and complicated spreadsheets. So if you're ready to reduce your financial stress and truly live the life of your dreams, then tune in and let's do this. Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Ditch the Budget podcast. I'm your host, Heidi Ramore, and I'm talking about something today that I don't hear a lot of noise about. And I really want this topic to become noisy. I want more people to be aware of it. I think this is something that holds us back. It really affects us in so many different areas. And that is around this whole hustle culture, this whole notion of work harder, do more, be more, get more clients, work around the clock, evergreen your content, always be available, get back to people right away. It's exhausting. And I know for me over the last 24 months, and we're all in the same storm, but we're all in very different boats. That was a quote from somebody. I don't know who said it, but such a great perspective when we look at the last 24 months of this pandemic. And I think it's so true when we're looking at all the different balls we have in the air. For me, I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm a daughter, I'm a sister, I'm a friend, and I'm a business owner. And so how do you juggle it all? How do you have a thriving business? If you're somebody that's a business owner listening to this, you want to thrive. And the online space is very noisy. It feels like there's always more that you could be doing. There's a new social media channel. There's more content to produce. More. And what I think it's doing is not only is it affecting our health, I really think our money and our health are closely tied together. And I talk about that more in my group, Fitness and Finance. That's my private community group on Facebook. But it's causing us to eat unhealthy, drink more alcohol, drink more coffee, sleep less. We're just our brains are constantly on. And it's when you're so obsessed with money, and that can be a positive word or a negative word, right? Like you can become so obsessed with your clients and the work that you're doing. And I think that's a good thing. But if you become really obsessed over paying down debt, building wealth, all of the things, incessantly checking your bank accounts and just worrying about money obsessively, I think that is really what's holding us back in a lot of ways. And when we look at this whole hustle culture, and especially if you're in a traditionally male dominated industry like I am, I definitely feel that pressure of my husband and I used to always joke about how when I went back to work after having kids, I would always get asked, "Oh, who's watching the kids?" He's never been asked that question ever. And it's just so interesting to me. And I know times are changing and all of those things, but there's just a different load, I think, especially a mental load that's on women and moms, especially. And in this day and age of social media and Pinterest and everything having to look a certain way and everyone just having a say in your life, hustle culture is really becoming a big issue. And I know for me in the corporate world, it was quite literally killing me. I really was starting to feel that burnout. My relationships were suffering. I became a workaholic. And to this point, to this day, we're here in January in 2022, I still find myself really having to work hard to play with my kids. And that's very uncomfortable for me to say out loud because as a mom, of course, I want to be the fun mom. I want to play with my kids. I want to have fun and hear them laugh and snuggle them and just enjoy them while they're little because I know the time is going to go so fast. But I also have 20 years of corporate hustle in my brain and rewiring not heading into the office, once the kids are down and actually enjoy a Netflix show for once. I think this hustle culture is something that we really need to dig into and peel back the layers of what it actually means. I know for me, for a very long time, and this really became evident when I lost my corporate job, was my identity was wrapped in that job, more so than being a mom and more so than being a wife and a daughter and a friend and a sister. I can't even tell you how many tears were shed. I was so devastated when I lost my corporate job because that was who I thought I was. And when it comes down to it, regardless of how you make money, if you're an employee, if you own your own business, if you have passive income, if you're independently wealthy, it doesn't really matter. I think when we start assigning our worth to what we do, I think we're in a whole lot of trouble. I know for me, hustle culture has been something that I have been working very hard at trying to unravel, and I am not perfect at it. I still would prefer to, plan my day and be creative than go outside in the snow. Now, granted, I'm not really a winter person, but that's sad. And I'm really working on showing up for my kids in a playful way instead of being mom all of the time. And, why I think this is so important when we look at our finances is I think for people, wherever you are in your financial situation, whether you have debt, whether you're looking to build wealth, or if you're trying to do both, I don't think you have to be debt free in order to start building wealth. I think you can do them side by side, depending on your situation. And I think a lot of us feel like, oh, we'll just do more. I'll get more clients. I'll work harder. I'll work longer. I'll work weekends. I won't take a break. And then what ends up happening? We haven't talked to our spouse in weeks. Our kids only see us in the office. Our relationships are really struggling. And we then start to imprint that's what money means to our children. Money is going to end up meaning to our kids that it's hard work. And ultimately, if that was true, all of the hardworking Americans, all the hardworking Canadians that work long hours, that work in industries, work with their hands, would be easily wealthy. And I feel like for a lot of people, working hard means that money is also hard. And I just do not believe that that's true. I think that we can work how we want to in alignment with how we want to feel. And a lot of this is definitely inspired by my mentor and coach, Heather Chauvin. She definitely brings me into alignment whenever I feel like I'm spiraling. And I think you need to surround yourself with people that could do that for you. When it comes to your money, I think it's identifying some money leaks. And I have episodes on this, looking at your money leaks and looking at spending your money more efficiently rather than the hustle of making more money. So if you are somebody who is right now in corporate and you are hustling, if you are somebody who is a business owner like me and maybe in the first 2 years of your business and you are in that rat race, I really urge you to take a look at managing your time and managing your energy in a way that brings you joy, because I'll tell you, in 10 years when your kids want nothing to do with you and you're divorced, it's not going to matter. I would much rather have the journey to being debt free and the journey to building wealth be a little bit slower than to sacrifice some of those relationships, because to me, being a wealthy woman is being wealthy in relationships as well. So don't lose sight of that. So hopefully that inspired you a little bit to take a look at how you are making money currently. And I'm always here for you. Send me a DM if you found this episode helpful. Screenshot it, share it to your stories, share it with a friend. I'd love to hear from you. Hope you're all having an amazing day, and we'll see you next time on the next episode of the Ditch the Budget podcast. Bye, everyone.